Hi, Joe.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi.
Sorry, technical glitch there.
Grand.
How are you?
I'm grand. How are you? That sounded great.
Did it? Thank you.
Yeah,
Well,
it sounded
I hope it
brilliant.
did. Wonderful. So Hazel is the wonderful choreographer of the Call Me a Fool video, which you're going to be seeing at the end of today's live stream. So I wanted to talk to you, Hazel, first of all, about how you found choreographing for the music video, because we all had to obviously learn the dance on Zoom as well, didn't we? So how did you find that?
Yeah, well, yeah. Obviously, we had to learn the dance on Zoom, which was certainly a fun experience. Everything was flipped, so we had to try work that out. But I'm sure the rest of you feel this way as well. This year in particular, obviously for us creatives, was really a kick in the teeth. So to get to do the music video was absolutely brilliant. The day in itself was absolutely fantastic. You know, working with the dancers, working with yourself and all the crew. So yeah, so for me, yeah, definitely one of the highlights of the year.
Yeah, because we obviously, for that, obviously no one knows, but we filmed this in the middle of the 2 lockdowns, so we had like that period of time where we were allowed to be creative. And actually, I came to you probably maybe a year ago with this music video idea, and we had this like massive plan of hiring a hall and filling it with like as many people as we could and getting them to all learn a dance, and it all just being fun because they enjoyed it. And that was the point of the video, is that, you know, everyone would just do it whether or not they thought they could dance, and even if they looked foolish, they'd be having fun. That was kind of the idea. So when the lockdown thing happened and I came to you and I was like, I think we need to kind of scale this down. So then did you find that you had to kind of alter your style and your plans based on the fact that you now had 3 actual dancers instead of like 50 random people that had to left feet?
I mean, I'd have been just as happy to work with 50 random people, but it was a pleasure to work with Louise, Georgia and Emily. As you say, they are professional dancers, so, you know, they picked up choreography like that. They gave everything their own style. To be honest, I think it was probably, you know, in the end, probably a better outcome to have the 3 girls dancing. I'm sure when we all see the video, well, we haven't even seen it yet, so I'm very excited to see it. Yeah, I'm sure it'll look great with the 3 girls.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Should we introduce them? Should we get them on?
Yeah, let's get them on.
Everyone now, we're going to introduce the dancers. Hello.
Hi.
So we have Georgia here in a lovely black turtleneck-esque top. We have Emily sitting in her studio, and we have Louise. Give us a wave, Louise. Hello. So these are our wonderful dancers that I met you all actually through doing this video. So we didn't know you before. We met through looking for dancers for the video. And we all actually met initially on Zoom when Hazel taught us the choreography. How did you guys find, like, had you been being creative up to that point, or were you just in like a lockdown state of not doing anything creative?
Well, for me, I hadn't been able to do all of the creative things I would have loved to have done this year. And actually at the point where we were doing our first rehearsal, I was dog sitting. So midway through doing the rehearsal, everyone was like, what's going on? And I'm like, no, the Labradoodle, I think it's been stung by a bee. So it wasn't quite like a normal dance rehearsal, if we all remember the lovely doggy.
Yeah.
So yes, it was so nice to just get back dancing.
Yeah. And how, in terms of like learning dances on Zoom, because I know lots of places have been doing dance classes online and stuff, so were you already kind of in the swing of doing stuff on Zoom by that point?
Yeah, I've been on Zoom from about March, so slowly getting used to it and reversing everything. But when we got together, it was like, can we just double check we're all on the same side? Because you don't really know if you're all doing it exactly the same. So it was great. Once we all got together and actually got to rehearse in the same room, it was so nice because for so long we'd like been on our own just talking through a screen. So it was just amazing to dance with other people and with other dancers. It was just so nice.
Yeah. It was, when we all got there together, it was like, oh wow, you're real. We can all actually do this in the same room, like, and be allowed to. Which was great. Georgia, when we all got into the space, obviously we kind of met online. You were in the online rehearsals. Actually, Emily, you joined us slightly later, didn't you? So you actually just had videos that we'd sent you of Hazel doing the dance. Yeah. But Georgia, how did you find like learning everything online and then just being kind of thrown into, right, we're filming it?
Do you know what? It was such an amazing experience because never again, I think, are we ever, well, we might be, but we're not really going to have this situation again where we're going to be like, okay, you've got to do a music video, we're going to learn it on Zoom, and then we've just got to go for it. And it was like, it was actually just such an amazing experience to be like, okay, we've got to actually just turn up and just know it and just get on with it and do it. And like, we all, as Emily said, we all turned up like, is this like the left arm? Like, are we doing this right? Because again, it's just like that reverse. But you know, it was so much fun. And even meeting like everyone on Zoom. I mean, as you said, we don't know, we only met each other through the music video, and it was so lovely. So yeah.
And okay, last question before we go on to the next song. I wanted to know, because no one's obviously seen the video yet. You haven't seen the video yet. I was wondering if you could tell everyone what your highlight was when we were filming. So the bit that you're most looking forward to, because obviously, well, no one knows, but we actually filmed this as a one-shot video. So it's one shot all the way through. We had to learn all the choreography, which was a real challenge for me because I am not someone that can pick up choreography quickly. But we all threw ourselves into it, and it was a one-shot video. So we kind of got in there and we just kind of went through the song about 5 or 6 times filming. So from what you can remember, what were your highlights?
Well, Jo, can I just say, you say you can't pick up choreography, but you can, and you can dance. So first of all, don't say that about yourself.
I think with the dancing thing, Hazel, I can dance, but the choreography is the hard bit. It's like, if I can just boogie, it's fine.
You did brilliant. Do you know what was really nice about the day? Exactly what the girls were saying. Being in a space with other creatives was such a highlight and something that none of us really got to do this year. So I'm going to stay the whole day.
I've got one.
Go on, Emily.
I don't want to give too much away, but confetti cannon. That's all I'm gonna say. Or
a worm. A worm is certainly
yeah.
Oh my. Yeah.
The mysterious.
What's your highlight?
Looking at just remembering how fun it was. I think that's gonna be it. Seeing how much fun that day was, and like actually looking at it in one shot and being like, oh my gosh, we did that. Like how, and you know, I think the fun of the day.
I think for me, it's the final chorus is like the biggest part of the video. And for us as dancers, it's like, yes, here we go. We're going for it now. And it felt great. And because it was done in one shot, it makes you feel like you're more on stage because you're doing the whole routine instead of going, right, 2 moves, stop. So by the time you get to the last chorus, it's a lovely feeling. So for me, final chorus.
I thought it'd be really stressful doing it in one shot. And I think it actually was less stressful because it was like, oh, okay, we messed up, let's start again, let's just go from the top. And then we've actually got a really cool clip right at the end as we do the credits today where you're going to see the actual video and then the behind the scenes at the same time. So it'd be really cool to see that. You can see like all the I guess stage hands running around and grabbing props and doing crazy stuff. So that would be really cool to watch. Wonderful. Okay, I think we're going to do a couple more songs now. So thank you so much for dialing in and chatting to us, and stick around because if we have any questions, we might pop them in the little chat box. Perfect. See you in a sec.
Jo.
I'm driven, but I don't know where I'm driving. Only hope I'm lost on the right path. I've got the engine running and the heat on high. Parked on the edge of nowhere in the middle of the night. I'm just 20-something. Searching for hope in the places I lost it. Finding nothing's the same, even landscapes have changed. Oh, now I'm left here alone, looking up at the starry sky. That's when it hit me, they only shine on the blackest of nights. If I could hold all my doubts in the palm of my hands, I'd toss them to the wind, scattered grains of sand. I'm just 20-something, worried about nothing new. At 20-something, I bet you are too. These years of making mistakes, waste money, precious time, and experience heartbreak. These years of making mistakes. If I'm lost, are they wasted? If I'm lost, are they wasted? I'm just 20-something. I'm just 20-something now, and these years won't last long. I'm 20-something now. I'm just 20-something now. These years won't last long. I'm 20-something now, and I am driven, but I don't know where I'm driving. Okay, this next song is an oldie that some of you might know. It's called Take a Chance This Time, with a slight twist, so if you do know, sing along. There's 100 reasons I shouldn't do it, and the thought of failure makes me feel like I'm already losing. I've tried it before and I've been knocked down. This time my feet, they'll stay on the ground. And didn't take. I seem to forget that my decision to make. Sensibility clouds my vision. Responsibilities keep me distant. And I need a helping hand. So throw me a rope, give me a sign. I wanna take a chance this time. Oh, leave me alone, tell me it'll be fine. I wanna take a chance this time. I'll need a shoulder to cry on if it all goes wrong. A soul that won't leave me if I'm not that strong. So words of wisdom if I lose my way. And encourage a smile at the end of the day. Oh, now I'd go there now if I wanted to try. You know that I would hold your hand if I could go there now, like I wanted to try.
Now, since this is a live show, I thought we probably should introduce the band. So give it up for PJ on drums. Connor on guitar. Alex on bass. Let's bring it down.
I've been hearing symphonies. Before all I heard was silence. Rhapsody for you and me. Now every melody is timeless. Like a stringing me along. Then you came and you cut me loose. Solo singing on my own. Now I can't find the key without you. And your song is on repeat. And I'm dancing on to your heartbeat. And when you're gone, I feel incomplete. So if you want the truth, I just wanna be part of your symphony. And I go there now if I wanted to try. You know that I would hold your hand if I could go there now, take a chance this time, and be part of your symphony. Here we go now.
Hello. Hello. So I'm here now with Jessica, who is the creative director of the Call Me a Fool music video. For those of you that don't know, Jessica is my sister, and she's amazing. She is the person that can make my visions become reality, and when I say that it's not possible, she makes it happen. Very much like tonight, I was like, no, I'm not doing a live stream, and she has made the whole thing happen.
Well, we've had a lot of help.
Yeah, we've had a lot of help, which we'll talk about later. But in terms of the video, let's talk about that. So I came to you.
Your original idea was very different, I think. Was this if I've got the song right, this is the one where the original idea was kind of following a kid's journey into
Yes.
being like a creative person.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
kind of having all of the obstacles
I
and
forgot
stuff
about
like
that.
that.
Yeah, so the original idea was that we'd have like a child who was like, oh, I want to be
Like a ballerina.
a
or
ballerina,
something like that,
and
yeah.
then it was like, oh no, you're too foolish, like no, you won't get a career in
Yeah.
ballet, like give that up, and then
And
they
then
do
there was
it.
going to be like an adult version of them as they're older. But I think this song was way too fun to
Yeah.
do something like that. Like it didn't need like a.
I think
big-
if it had had more of like a narrative lyric, we could have done that.
Yeah, I think it didn't need like a big kind of deep,
Yeah.
meaningful like video. It needed a fun video. I think it was like.
See, and she's told me that. That's why the video has ended up being a fun like video in
Yeah.
general.
I think just as when we were talking about it and you kind of were saying that idea, like it's a good idea, but I was like, no, you need dancers. You need to have a dance in it. And I
Yeah.
think that's when we kind of decided, okay, can we do that?
Yeah.
Do we know any dancers? Can we pull that off? And I think immediately we were like, well, we can't do the dance.
Yeah, immediately I was like, I can't do the dance on my own. There's no way I'm going to be a solo
Yeah.
dancer. I don't think you wanted to really do it.
Not really. There's
No.
too many things that can bounce.
Yeah. So then obviously we contacted Hazel, who's a friend of
Yeah.
mine through work, and then Hazel helped us really with all of that.
Yeah.
But in terms then of the actual video, the message of the song, like what you wanted to get across when
I
we
think
were on
it was
set.
when we were chatting about it, we wanted it to be very like literal. Like when you talk about, my boots half full, I was like, well, let's have a pair of boots and fill it up with water half full. Like I think having it very like literal like that is really fun, and I think people remember the lyrics as well when they see something that matches.
Yeah.
I think they're like, oh, that's clever. Like whether we obviously don't want to give too much away, but like I'll be on the bright side. Like I always remember that lyric because of what happens in the video
Yeah,
and things like
that's
that.
true.
So
And you would
Yeah.
have seen like on the introduction video that just happened that there were like some clips of Jessica and me on Zoom looking at like mood boards and coming up with ideas, and that was like very much, it was like a daily, like when it was getting up to the shoot day, it was very much like, oh, I've had another
Yeah.
idea, like who can get to Hobbycraft to like come up with
Yeah.
something.
I think like as well it was I remember like kind of the days leading up to it, it was a lot of, I was like at work and you were sending me messages like, should I order this on Amazon? Should I
Yeah.
order this? And I was like, just order what you want. Like,
Yeah, but I needed the creative director's approval
yeah,
to do all of
true.
that stuff. Like if like you had to stay when we got there on shoot day, Jessica arrived and you set everything up. Didn't
Yeah,
you?
well,
So you
with-
like
with
create
people.
yeah, you created the backdrop pretty much on your own.
Yeah.
We had some additional support like on filming day. So we had Fraser, Matthew and Lewis who were all there, and they were kind of like helping blow up balloons and get up like banners and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But really it was like you used to take a bit more credit because you're like, oh yeah, everyone helped.
It
but
was
really
all
you did
my idea. It was all me. No, I think it was just I can't even remember at the point where we decided we wanted it to be like a one-shot video.
I always wanted it to be one
Oh, you
shot.
always wanted it
As
to
soon
be-
as we dropped the idea of there being like this narrative of a family,
Just
I was
this
like,
way, 'cause you're not on the camera.
okay.
No one can see you.
I'm not used to this. Yeah, as soon as we dropped that, I was like, I want it to be one shot. It would just be cool if it was
Yeah.
one shot and it could be
I
quirky.
think as well, like there's a lot of musicians that we listen to and they've done one-shot videos and we're like,
Yeah.
that's really cool. Like, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah.
give loads of examples out because I feel like I don't want to give away our
Sources.
our references.
all
but yeah.
creativity is someone
Yeah.
else's idea,
True.
magnified into
Yeah.
100.
But what about, I think, like, I think you need to tell people what the message of the song is for them to then have that in their head when they watch the video
Okay.
later on.
So
Tell us.
the message of the song is that, well, actually, it's kind of matches with the last song I just played because Take a Chance This Time was on my EP years ago in 2014, and that was very much a song about wanting someone to tell you that it's okay to just do something that you love and kind of giving you that validation and assurance, and that was what Take a Chance This Time was about. And that kind of leads on to this now, I guess, like new phase where I'm kind of like, I don't care if I had validation, I'm just going to do it anyway because I love doing it and it's fun, and if people think that I'm foolish for doing it, then they can just call me a fool. It's not going to stop me. So that's the message of the song.
Yeah. I'm just looking through the comments and seeing some questions.
Okay.
We've got, do you want to take some questions?
I'll
from
take
the
some
audience?
questions. Yeah.
So if you want to ask a question, pop it in the comments bar of YouTube or on Facebook. So somebody's asked you, what is your favourite song? And I think this is such a difficult
My
question.
actual favourite song.
Yeah, I feel like this is interesting though.
I
because
also
who
feel
do
like
you
this
listen
question should
to?
be banned in general within all interviews.
Well,
I mean, I'll
it's
answer
the first
it.
one I came to.
Okay.
So.
Um,
Come this way.
my favourite song.
Or what would you say like who are your main influences? Maybe that's a better question.
Okay, my main influences are there's a lot. I mean, I love
Three.
I love Sober Ellis. I love Train.
Mm.
I love especially when I'm writing songs, I listen to a lot of ELO. And Who else do I listen to? David Gray. Yeah, there's a lot. I can't really just pick like one song or one influence.
That's okay.
I mean, you asked for 3, I gave you 4.
Yeah, this is, I think, like, people put a lot of, it annoys me really when people ask you, like, oh, who are your main influences, or who do you sound like, and things like that, because you sound like Joe. Like, do you know what I mean? It's kind of one of those.
But it is still, I guess, like, I would want to know what other people's favourite songs are. Whoever asked that question, it was a lovely question. I've tried my best to answer it.
There's lots of funny questions on here, like, what's your favourite book? What's your favourite colour? What's your favourite sport? But
sport? No, I don't have a favourite sport.
I feel like we don't do sport in this family. But okay, so when you were writing the song, back when did you actually write this song?
2017.
Wow. So like, has it changed from then to now? When was it like you got the final edit of the song and you were, that's it, not working on it anymore, that's it? Like, when did that happen?
So in its original form, it was called Dream Like We Do. We just had the They Don't Dream Like We Do. We didn't have the Call Me a Fool. And that kind of, I think the Call Me a Fool was somewhere else in the song. And it was actually when we went and started producing it with Jackson, who produced the song, that it just became Call Me a Fool. And it was just became a really fun song.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it definitely transformed from when we first wrote it.
I think your style has changed like over the years. Like, I mean, from your first like EP.
Yeah.
Like, what was that? Do you remember what that was called?
It was self-titled.
Oh, it was Joanna McGowan. I think like your style has changed so much from then to now.
Yeah.
Like why? Do you think that's just because you've gotten older, or like I'm wiser, or?
Yeah, I think this idea of like style changing, I don't feel like it should ever be like constant. It should never be something like your style is something that grows with you. So I think it's normal for a style to change as you grow up, and I think certainly that's what's just happened here. I've just like grown up and listened to new music and written more songs and thrown away bad songs and kept the good ones. And I think when you're first starting out, you just release everything that you have because that's all you've got. And now it's like I'm in a position where I can say, well, that one's actually not me. That's not something that I resonate with, and I'm going to go with something else.
Yeah. Next question. Joanne Wade. Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Joanne Wade, and all the Wades in Scotland.
She has asked, is there one particular artist that inspires you?
Sarah Bareilles.
I feel like the answer to every question is going to be Sarah Bareilles.
Not every question, but yeah, she does, like, her lyrics I think are amazing.
I think as well, like her as a person, I think she's inspiring. Like, she very much doesn't conform to the like kind of pop like celebrity kind of culture and stuff.
Yeah, like I remember I went to see her and I was like, she's wearing jeans. Like, oh my God, I could wear jeans. Like, and it was just like a cool thing. And then I started not stressing so much about like what I wanted. So just things like that.
Yeah.
Just like I remember things happening and being like, oh, that's.
I remember I actually went to see, you took me to see her in London. I can't remember where it was. It was a really small venue.
Yeah.
And I remember like she swore. Yeah. And I was like, what?
We literally looked at each other. We were like,
and we were so surprised. And then we both, it was so funny because we looked at each other like that, and then we were like, okay. It was like one of those moments where like.
Yeah, but she swore and then she sang the CeeLo Green song. And we were like, oh my God, is she going to swear? And she did. And we were like, this is amazing.
Yeah, I think like that's actually one of the first gigs I can remember you taking to. You've taken me to quite a few.
Yeah.
That's one of the first kind of live gig memories I've got, which is cool. Okay. This is Julie Tracy. Has music always been important to you?
Yes. I think music has always been important to us as like a family anyway. Like I sometimes try and think about when I first like realised that I love music, and I don't know if you feel the same. I don't think that happened. Like we were always immersed in music from like when we were little, like constantly had records playing. And then I don't know, I actually started learning music at school, like through the curriculum. I had free guitar lessons, and I don't know, I've just always done music.
I think we've just always been surrounded by music because like mum and dad are like really into Northern Soul scene. They've always had records on in the house, and like mum and dad did soul nights where they would like dad was DJing and stuff. So I think it's always been, it was never like an option, it was always there. Yeah. And I think obviously because you're like 2.5 years older than me, I kind of saw you do music and stuff, and I was like, teach me the guitar. And I remember the first song you taught me on guitar was 18 by Ed Sheeran. Yeah. But yeah, I think we've just always been surrounded by it. Yeah. Which is cool. Okay. Jonathan Barker has asked, so he said he has your first EP, and do you plan to release another CD?
A physical CD? I don't know. I feel like the industry doesn't want that anymore. I mean, Jonathan, I don't know if you want another physical CD, but I mean, I think if I did an album, I probably would get it like made. But I think at the moment I'm just enjoying singles, and actually this single is one of a series of 4. So we had Wasteland, Call Me a Fool is the second one. We've got 2 more singles that are coming out, and they're all, I kind of like to think of them as an EP, because really they are my experience of being a 20-something and kind of growing up, and just kind of what you see as you're 20, like you change your friends, you realize what your career is going to be, you like move out, you fall in love, you get heartbroken. So
it's really interesting as well, because you started writing the first single, like this kind of 4 singles, you started writing them when I was 19, and now that I'm nearly 24, I'm like, oh, this is all making sense now, like the messages in these songs, like I'm starting to get it, because I'm now 20-something. But cool. We have, someone said that we have very cool parents, for sure, which is true.
Yeah, that's true.
There was questions for me, but I don't like,
go on, let me ask the questions for you.
These 2.
Okay. Jessica, what was your favourite part about being the creative director? This is from Natasha Williams.
My favourite part, I think, actually coming up with the ideas before we, like, the actual video day was really fun, but I think actually listening to the song and chatting to you and being like, we should do this, and I loved it when we one of us suggested something and we got really excited, so we'd be like, yeah, we'd be like clapping our hands and like being silly and stuff. And I think in terms of any kind of thing that I do, like events and stuff, the actually coming up with the idea is my favourite part, and then like the kind of part of the night or the video or something where you can see everything's going well, that's like the next best bit. It's like you had all the ideas and you're like, it's working.
yeah, definitely. Okay,
I think it might be time for another song.
I think it might be time for another song. I was just going to say, can we see the YouTube chat? But maybe we'll do that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll have a look. We can go back through afterwards and answer questions.
Perfect. So, in fact, actually, we were just talking about how these are 4 singles, and the next song that I'm going to perform is Wasteland. So, probably quite a few of you have seen the video on my YouTube channel. And actually, can we just talk about that briefly before I go up? Because you were also really involved in the music video for that.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
And also,
so was Dad.
So was Fraser and Lewis were there again, because I had this kind of crazy idea that I wanted to be in a room that fell apart, which like sounds like a really good creative idea, but logistically.
But nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible when your dad has power tools.
That's true. So let's just talk about that very briefly, and then everyone can kind of go and rewatch the video after this.
Rewatch the video.
But we had kind of, you explain.
So the idea was, in a nutshell, what's Wasteland about? Quickly.
So in a nutshell, Wasteland is about kind of watching your, like, kind of changing friendships, watching your whole landscape of what you think is your life change. And really it was about finishing uni, going back home, not having a job, not having any friends that live locally, and being like, wow, this is like actually really isolating, and I'm actually now in a wasteland in my own home. So that was the concept, was that actually when you embrace that and you say, wow, I'm on my own, then actually you can create something even more amazing. And so that's what Wasteland is about. And
I think like what we tried to like encapsulate with that room thing that we did in the Wasteland video was that we had loads of kind of homely things. So we basically built three sides of a room. Dad built three sides of a room. So the front obviously wasn't there because that's what we were filming, but we decorated the inside. So Joe was spray painting an armchair. Yeah. So there was an armchair in it, which is also in the Call Me a Fool video. Yeah. It's going to be a little feature that always happens. So we had like a chair, we had like home things, we had posters on the wall, candles, we put some shelves up.
We had loads of like motivational quotes, which are just not helpful when you're just hating life.
Things like, you know, don't forget the sun shines, or you can't have a rainbow without some rain. Like we had all of those kind of things on the wall, and the idea was that you were home and it was meant to be homely and like a safe space, but you were just like, I don't want it. Like I want there to be more. So when the kind of beat kicks in, Joe stands up and like pushes all the walls down, and we actually in real life we had Fraser to the left, Lewis to the right, and Dad behind with a piece of string, and I had to like pull them.
And we had one chance to get that right, and so
it worked. It was so fun. Like I was behind the camera the whole time being like, do this and like do this and stuff. It was just, that was a really good one. That was really fun. I'm excited to do the others as well. I think this is all just
so really we'll stop nattering and we'll play Wasteland now, so you can hear
we need to stop because we just won't stop.
I know, we'll just keep talking.
Cool, let's go.
Piles of dirt are all that's left of the wasteland. No roses, just thorns and cries of neglect. I feel sorrow for the soul of the wasteland. It's much like mine. Rain pours on the floor of the wasteland. The weatherman said it would shine. You can't find shelter when you're standing in wasteland. The storm will pass, given time. Wasteland, if you can go, then let me go. You're all I've ever known. Wasteland, if you can go, then let me go. You're all I've ever known. You're all I've ever known. Nothing changes here in the wasteland. Time moves, but the stillness remains. I find comfort when I'm standing in wasteland. It reminds me I could start again. Oh, I could start again. And now, I believe we're showing you the video. Is that right? Okay, so enjoy. This is the Call Me a Fool music video. Here we go. Woo! I'm a wishful thinker, daydreamer, smiling as I'm finding where the grass grows greener. A true believer, with my fingers crossed, keeping my balance on the tight ropes I walk across. Some call us fools, but they don't dream like we do. Our thoughts could take us further than our feet could ever wander to. It might be hopeless, but I hope we stay hopeful. Our minds could paint a picture that our hands could never start to. If dreaming makes me a fool, call me a fool. I found my voice through patience and frustration, trying to fill the boots they called my expectation. I'll be on the bright side with my glass half full. I've learned you never let the downside take over you. Some call us fools,
Facebook and YouTube in the morning, so you can all watch it again. But I hope you loved it. What were your initial reactions? We've got the chat box up. Woo, beautiful.
Remember, this is slightly behind as well, so some of these comments,
True.
won't be coming through
True,
yet.
true.
I think it looks like a completely positive,
Well, yeah.
completely positive reaction.
I mean, we have kind of a biased audience, probably.
Probably.
Yeah. So
Right,
yeah,
go
so
on.
we got YouTube up just because there's quite a few people watching on YouTube as well, so we wanted to answer some questions from there. So do you want to pick some?
Okay. So Mel O has asked, what gives you the confidence to do things like tonight, like this event?
What gives me the confidence? Support, people around you that will be there if it goes wrong and doesn't work out.
Be a shoulder to cry on when it all goes wrong.
Yeah, very good. I think a support network, and also just now I just feel like I'm comfortable in the fact that I just love doing music, and I'm just doing it now because I love it. It's not because I want to, you know, be a superstar and like make loads of money from music. It's because I love doing it, and it's now just something that I will just always do. I'll just always think, because there's no pressure that it has to succeed.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's when I think, and this, I don't know if this happens for all people that pursue music, but definitely with me and you, I think we get to a point, or we have gotten to a point in music where we've stopped doing it for other people. We're just doing it for ourselves now.
Yeah.
I think you especially. I think.
Yeah, definitely me.
I'm still trying to get there.
Yeah,
But
you'll get there. You're still in your early 20s.
I'm still 20 something.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what tips would you give to a new musician that wanted to kind of do things like this? Like, what would your top tips be?
My top tips would be write everything down and don't throw anything away. I feel like I used to like rip pages out of my like songwriting books and just throw them away because they were rubbish ideas, but actually you can always go back to those things. You can always reuse them and take out like little nuggets that were really good. So write everything down, keep everything, take every opportunity that you can, do as much performing as you can, COVID safe, and just get experience. Like I remember my first gig, my dad kind of like forced me on stage well, not forced me, but was like, I've signed you up to do this open mic, and I was like really nervous, and actually now I'm like, that was the best thing. Like just take encouragement, take support.
Yeah. Cool. What was the highlight of recording the music video?
The highlight of recording the music video was definitely, you know, when we did the final shot and we were like we finished it and we were all just like on a high, and it was just like so much fun, and that was like for me the best moment, because it was like it had been done. It was like, not that it was over, but that it was like we'd managed it and it looked good.
I think it was so good as well, because I remember actually on the day, this is why I think what you're saying about support and having people around you that will, you know, they'll be supportive, and they'll also like, and Dad has done this before, like be the bad guy when you need somebody to like be bad cop in a situation. I remember on the day of the video we did, I think we'd done like 3 takes of the thing, and obviously when it's a one shot you have to reset everything for each take, and I think we'd done 3 and everybody was happy with it, and I could see that you were like, I need to do it one more time, and I think I was like, we're just gonna do it one more time, everybody reset. And I think things like that, like having people,
I think everyone at that moment was like, I felt like I was being a bit of a diva, but I'm glad we did it again. Like, I'm glad we did it again.
Yeah, I think that's why as well, like everybody that was involved was so like, okay, yeah, like that's fine, and I think that's like support is so important.
Yeah.
And I do like, and
having someone there
that
can read your facial expressions, because if you hadn't been like, we're doing it again, then I would have probably just been like, oh, never quite happy with it, you know.
Yeah. Cool. Hang on, just trying to find one. Okay, I want to know Joe's favourite song that she's written. Mine is Wasteland. Phenomenal. What's your favourite?
Who wrote
song,
that?
Alex?
Oh, okay. My favourite song that I've written, so I've actually been writing a lot in lockdown, and I think generally songwriters' favourite songs are the ones they've just written. But I've got a song called Whatever That Means, which I really, really like playing live. I think the songs I'm happiest with are the sadder ones for some reason. Like I love performing Call Me a Fool, but I don't know, when I perform Whatever That Means, it's just really special.
I think there's like I've definitely been to your gigs and cried. Definitely been like, oh, and like especially when someone's close to you and they know what it's about, you're like, and yeah. Cool.
Should we make this the last one?
Sure. Let me get. Oh, I think this might be from a parent of some of the students.
Could you give a shout out to Gabs and Maya?
Yes.
Hi Gabs. Hi Maya. And Sue, if Sue's watching.
Cool. Let me just find another one. Do you remember the first song that you wrote?
Jess.
Oh my gosh, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. Jess was the first song that I fully wrote.
How about that? How about that?
It was.
Cool. Well,
Perfect.
That was a very quick
Well,
answer.
I think then we've got a lot of thank yous to say, and there is going to be a credit scene that runs now. But we had like the amazing band tonight. We've got PJ, we had Alex, we had Connor, we had Lassa doing sound tonight. We had Sean doing sound, Lassa doing visual engineering. We had Jessica just being creative director and camera woman. We've got a photographer here, and we've obviously had to do everything like COVID safe, so masks, Pyrex screens, everything. So everyone's worked really hard to make it happen. Yeah. So I think we need to roll credits now, and you're going to now see the video again with a behind the scenes shot, which is just really fun. So enjoy, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.
I'm a wishful thinker, daydreamer, smiling as I'm finding where the grass grows greener, a true believer with my fingers crossed, keeping my balance on the tight ropes I walk across. Some colors fall, but they don't dream like we do. Our thoughts could take us further than our feet could ever wander to. It might be hopeless, but I hope we stay hopeful. Our minds could paint a picture that our hands could never start to. If dreaming makes me a fool, call me a fool. I found my voice through patience and frustration, trying to fill the boots they called my expectation. I'll be on the bright side with my glass half full. I've learned you never let the downside take over you. Some colors fall, but they don't dream like we do. Our thoughts could take us further than our feet could ever wander to. It might be hopeless, but I hope we stay hopeful. Our minds could paint a picture that our hands could never start to. If dreaming makes me a fool, call me a fool. When your thoughts won't pull you through, the fear of failure's troubling you. When your passion feels like a curse, you can't think how things could get any worse. Don't give up now, you've come so far. You are stronger than you think you are. Some call us fools, but they don't dream like we do. Our thoughts could take us further than our feet could ever wander to.